Jay Binkley joins us in studio. Binkley, how you doing today, my brother?
What's good on, C-Dot? Oldest brewery in America, by the way.
Can I play some audio for you, man?
Yeah. And salute the service the Chiefs did the other night. Great. Outstanding stuff.
So we have a bit that we do. It's called Spec Says.
Yeah.
It's not every day at the same time. It's not every week at the same time. But just every once in a while, we let Spec hop in the booth.
He has things to say sometimes.
For sure, 100%. So we allowed Spec to give us his Spec Says for the week. And I just want you to hear what the big boss man had to say.
All right, it's Buffalo week, it's Bills week, so I'm going to go sweet Thai chili 1, lemon pepper 2, and I'll go Buffalo number 3, but that's not why you have me recording today. I would say 8 out of 10 times at the restaurant, I am going to order boneless wings over bone-in. I'm okay with bone-in wings as an appetizer, but it's not an entree. There's a lot of work involved with eating the wings. It's messy, and the amount of meat per bite is just not worth it to me. I think people say they like bone-in wings more than they do because of the setting that they're in. It's football, you're at a bar, whatever. But the actual food, if you put it in a vacuum, bone-in wings are incredibly overrated.
Wow.
What do you think, man?
I like bone-in because those are chicken nuggets. It's what they are. Football, you get the brew, bone-in wings. And you know what? They are an appetizer. I never looked at them really as an entree. I mean, that's an appetizer. For instance, you go to Smokehouse Barbecue, you get the barbecue, and you get a plate of wings, plate of bone-in wings. Their wings are outstanding. I never had their wings there until I heard Fesco talking about them. And I was like, I go to this place to eat barbecue all the time. Let's get their wings. And I tried their wings, and they're unbelievable. But, you know, it's a nice little appetizer, the boneless wings.
This is what I said earlier.
And I don't care about the mess.
If the waitress comes around and she hands you a menu, and then you take time to look over the menu when you're thinking about what you want to get, and you decide that you want to get the wings, and she asks you a very important question. Do you want boneless or bone-in? If you tell that woman boneless, you should be asked to leave.
Just flat out leave.
Just, hey, she should take the menu from you, and she should thank you for your service and just get you on your way. All right? Just pay for whatever you got. You got a drink, whatever it is. It's time for you to leave. We're not serving you.
You got to nibble on that wing, though, and have that bone in there and just kind of plate the bones. You know, you get that stacking up that plate of bones from the wings.
Boneless wings are baby shower food. That's what it is. It's nice wedding reception food, you know? You walk up in there, they got
it's not as messy.
Yeah, that's what it is. You out here eating wedding reception food. That's what I would consider it, man. I'm telling you, I would look at you. If me and you were sitting there about to watch Thursday Night Football, and we got a nice little Yingling right in front of us, and you order the boneless wings, I don't know if I want to be seen with you anymore.
It'd be bone in.
What's your favorite flavor? Like if you're getting a nice little bone-in wing, you're at a Jefferson's, what are you getting?
The spicy version of them, the sriracha, that kind of thing. But I do like that. I do like those Cajun butter wings they got up at the Smokehouse. I am a fan of that. Or just traditional Buffalo style, too. I like those.
Yeah, Buffalo wings are okay. I don't love Buffalo wings. Like, that's
there's
not my
place
favorite
I go
flavor.
to, Al's, and they
You do
great
love
Buffalo wings.
I have tried Al's one time. I did enjoy it. I don't know if it's a
top
place
three. It's a top three
that I would like constantly keep going out of my way to go to. I don't like it that much, but it was good, though.
Jefferson's very good. Al's very good. Smokehouse is underrated good, how good their wings are. And, of course, Peanut's good.
Right now, we're joined in studio by our guy, Jay Binkley. This was the point that I made to Joshua Briscoe earlier when he was here.
What did Briscoe say, by the way? Did you ask him?
I don't even want to talk about it. That's why he's gone.
Oh, no.
That's why Briscoe's gone. You see, we had to get him up out of that seat. Now, you see what happened. So this is what I told him. In week 2, I picked the Eagles. The Eagles were better at the time than the Chiefs. They were better. I feel that same way in reverse about this game. I think the Chiefs are the better team. A big reason why right now is I'm playing a little bit of the schedule game with the Buffalo Bills. They have beaten up on a lot of the bad teams in the National Football League. They've played 2 teams with the pulse. The Patriots have a pulse. The Falcons have a pulse. They lost both of those games. You got to show me you can beat one of the better teams
the
in the National
Falcons sometimes
Football
have a
League.
pulse. That team was beaten 30-0 by the Panthers.
Fair point.
And the Colts have had that kind of schedule, too. Buffalo's schedule is one of the easiest in NFL history to start this season. I do think they're better than that. I'm going to ask. I got a guy from Rochester that carries the Bills game. It's a sister station of ours, an Odyssey station out in Western New York. I'm going to ask him because he's been on every year when the Chiefs play the Bills. And I'm curious because in previous years, you might not have taken this team. But I'm curious about that. Would you take the Chiefs team, the whole team and the coaching staff, for your Buffalo Bills staff? Would you take the Chiefs team and the coaches? Because in previous years, you might not have said that. But this year, I'm kind of curious. Because would you take this Chiefs team over the team in Buffalo? And I would have to think he'd say yes, because I agree with you 100%. It's a better team.
Yeah, I think normally it feels like a coin flip going into it. Now, the score might be reflective of a coin flip. I'm not here pretending like I think the Chiefs are going to go in there and beat them 31-10. I don't think that. But I think if we do the tail of the tape and we really go by quarterback, running back, offensive line, wide receivers, if we go do that, I don't think there's a lot of places that you would check the box for Buffalo right now. Not with the way that Kansas City is playing. Not with them holding the last two opponents they've played to 7 points. Not with this Chiefs defense being able to stop the run and no team being able to run on them. Not with the offense looking as complete as they've looked the last couple of weeks. I don't really see where there's a lot of just known advantages that the Bills have, where I don't think that was the case last year. I thought last year that Buffalo, certainly in the regular season, I thought they were playing a little bit better football. Maybe they might end up getting to that, but this just doesn't feel like a true coin flip to me.
No, I'm with you. And when you look at things, by the way, the Chiefs do have more penalties than the Bills. I know they had a bye week, but the Chiefs still have more yards, penalty yards, and penalties than the Buffalo Bills have. Just throwing that out there because people don't think the Chiefs ever get penalties. They do. They're ninth in the NFL. The one area I think they have the advantage is clearly running. They're number one running team in the NFL. They're very good at that. And they're very good at pass defense. They're number 2 in pass defense in the league. But they do average about 164 yards a game running the ball. But it doesn't scare me because Washington came in, and that's the only thing they could do. Washington was number 2 in the NFL in running the football. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is a part of that, but he didn't play. But they're still 158 yards a game. Chiefs held them to 60 yards rushing. I think the Chiefs will be, more slanted to stopping Josh Allen than worrying about their running game, so to speak, with the true running back situation. And I do think that matters. But the Chiefs, without Jaden Daniels, like, all right, why don't you stop the run? I mean, this is what they can do. They can do well. We don't care about Debo and Mariota throwing the ball. We'll let him do it. We'll stop the running game. And they did. And I think that Allen still will be an emphasis for them to stop. They have been getting much better on fourth down. They're 25% with teams going for fourth down on the Chiefs, which has kind of been what they do. Josh Allen taking that 4th and 3 and, turning into 4-yard gain, or taking a 4th and 2 and taking it 15 yards for a touchdown. It's what he does. I think the Chiefs will still spy him. They won't respect the passing game as much because they shouldn't. It's not as good this year. And they'll limit that running game of the Bills. I think you shut that down and you shut down the Buffalo Bills.
It's been crazy how close these games have been and how it just always feels like there's one big moment that happens in these games. Whether it was last year and the failed 4th down conversion where Buffalo tries to go for the tush push, that is a major reason of why we have the chip in the ball this season. If you think back to Travis Kelce and the lateral with Kadarius Toney being lined up off sides, like we can go through the last 5-6 games. I always feel like there's one big moment, one big play. And usually in the regular season, it feels like that play kind of goes towards the Buffalo Bills, the Josh Allen forced down last year. And in the postseason, the Chiefs, they've made that play in every single one of these matchups in January.
Yeah, they do. And it's just funny, seeing how good. It's not funny. It's what he does. It's how Mahomes is seeing the field. And they did spotlight that on the Monday Night broadcast as far as Mahomes always looking downfield. Because they always tell quarterbacks, don't look at your feet. Don't look at the line. Look downfield. Look downfield to make a play. And that's what he's doing. Like, he's finding people. That connection with his receivers. Because remember, he had this group coming back this year, which is important. Tyquan was back here with the practice squad last year, so he was familiar with what they're doing. And obviously, Hollywood Brown, in his second year with the Chiefs, I know he was injured last year, but he's still there. And obviously, Rashee Rice knows this offense inside now, as does Kelce. But you see this, and Worthy, of course, coming back for second year. But the connection he's got with his receivers, and sometimes they don't do the right things, like Noah Gray kind of cut off his route, ran towards the inside, towards the safety. Mahomes still threw the ball, downfield where he should have gone. He should have gone straight vertical towards the end zone 9 route, straight there. But Noah didn't, he didn't have that connection with Mahomes there. Like that connection you're looking for. Mahomes still threw the football where he thought he should go, but Noah broke it off the inside. And he's kind of, this is what they do. And Devontae Adams, when he was on the Manning cast, said, I don't even know if the Chiefs have a playbook. Because in a complimentary way, he was saying, because the receivers just all know where Mahomes wants them to go. And they'll look for that weakness in the defense, and they'll go to it. It's understanding what the defense is doing. Like Mahomes coming up the line, calling out cover 0 for Washington. And they had the audible out of their blitz because they were going to come. Mahomes called out their defense and what they were doing before the play even began when he walked up to the line of scrimmage. But the whole connection he's building with the receivers and something else. It's just something we haven't seen in the last couple of years because he's been trying to make do with who he has. This time he's got a group of guys that understand who and what he is and what he's trying to do, and it's proving dividends.
Have you been more impressed with the Chiefs' offense or the defense over the last 3 weeks?
Well, of course I'm impressed with the offense. How can you not be with what they're doing? I mean, scoring 28 points a game all the time and, setting numbers, doing that. But this defense and what they're doing on fourth down, it continues to amaze me. Washington was 0-2 on fourth down, and I think the offense is a byproduct of the defense getting back on the field because the Chiefs are only allowing 25% conversion rate on fourth downs. Third most in the NFL, teams have gone for it against the Chiefs twice in Mahomes' previous 7 years. The Chiefs have led the NFL in teams going for it on fourth down. It's the one way to beat them. You got to go for it on fourth down. You got to push it. You got to try to get that. And it's been better than the coin flip. It's been an average of 57%.
Now they're the team going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, they are. And it's good to see because of what they're doing. But instead of these teams, because now it's like a 1-in-4 chance. It's not that coin flip, 50-50. But it was better than a 50% chance getting the first down against the Chiefs. And guess what's happening? Mahomes is getting back on the field. And this offense is number 2 in points per drive. And it's what they're doing. For example, you talk about offensively, they've already gone for it 15 times. Last year, only 17 times. Year before that, 20. Year before that, just 12. So they are going for it more, and they're converting an 80% pace. But to me, it's that defense because they've shaved more than 25% off the average. The average is 57% of teams converting on fourth down. They've shaved that down to 25%. And what that means is Mahomes is back on the field, and it's good field position. There's no punt. There's no field goal try, none of that. The team is turning the ball over. It's essentially a turnover, and there goes Mahomes with basically, 20 to 30 yards more to go to be in field goal range, or this year they're actually converting those to touchdowns. So I think it's a byproduct how good the offense has been, but I think a lot of it hinges on how good this defense has been on fourth down and really taking the tempo to the defense and getting that offense out there. And the offense has been incredible. I mean, it's really been incredible, but I think they're feeding off what this defense is doing. So I guess, to be honest with you, I had one way or the other last 3 weeks. I have to say defense, they are number 2 scoring defense in the NFL, but the offense certainly very, very, very impressive. None of these guys are back, but I do think the defense is putting them in some good field position.
Right now, we're joined in studio by our guy, Jay Binkley here, going through some of the top stories right now regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. Binkley, let's say that Isaiah Pacheco was not going to play in this game. I don't think he is going to play. Let's also say that there are 20 carries out there for the running back. So we're not counting Mahomes scrambles. We're not counting Xavier Worthy end around or Rashee Rice. There's 20 running back carries that are out there. How do you think they get divvied up on Sunday?
Is this with Elijah Mitchell playing?
If you think he's going to play.
I do. I think he's been running scout team plays. Andy Reid did address Elijah Mitchell yesterday. He did come back from a pretty serious injury when he was with San Francisco, and they kept him on this roster for a reason. They gave him more money and more guaranteed money than Kareem Hunt when he came in here. Does have that 4.32 speed ability that he had at his pro day, so he does have the speed element. I think they sprinkle him in. I think if he does play, which I do expect him to play if Pacheco doesn't play, 3 to 4 carries there. I think Brashard Smith gets to the 5 or 6 carries. I think they keep trusting him more and more, and he should because this guy's been a dynamic player. For his size, 196 pounds or whatever, he's a very physical player for what he's doing. They definitely trust him in the pass game as well as a running back. But, yeah, I can see that, and I can see Mahomes still getting his 5 or 6 carries. And I think Kareem Hunt doubles his carries, more carries, not just the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. For Kareem Hunt, I think he starts getting more part of the offense just until Pacheco's ready to go.
I do wish just a little bit. I wish they had given Brashard Smith more carries that kind of mattered throughout the course of the regular season. He has 25 carries so far. 14 of them came in that Raiders game. A lot of them just in garbage time. He just hasn't got a lot of carries in the regular flow of the offense. Now
they're still splitting him out a lot.
They use him in the passing attack, and they've thrown it to him a little bit. I do hope in this game, and one thing that could potentially slow the Chiefs' offense down is they're not running the ball great, but I think it's been effective, and I think it's been in the rhythm of what they want to do offensively. You run the ball, you run it on first down, you now turn it to a 2nd and 6. You now got a manageable down and distance to kind of get the passing game involved. They found a really good rhythm with the running game. What I don't want them to be in a position is when their offense starts to stall, they run the ball on first down. They get 2 yards. It's an incompletion. They're constantly playing from behind the sticks. long down in distances. And then usually when that happens, they get away from the run game. Kareem Hunt gets 7 carries in the game. They don't run the football, and Mahomes throws it 41 times. That's usually when their offense stalls.
Well, the one thing about this running game, which is interesting because they have been so prevalent in the passing game as far as even using the running game as extension or the passing game as extension of that running game. Believe it or not, the Chiefs are 9th in the NFL in running the football, 128 yards a game. So they're top 10 in the NFL in running the football, but it's not the traditional way.
Yeah, a lot of it's Mahomes taking off on
It's Mahomes
scrambles.
taking off. It's Pacheco sprinkled in, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, by the way, is just about the same efficiency rate as the tush push. Like, that's how good he's been this year. But they're still getting it done. Just like the receivers, we look at it with Kelsey just having 99 yards. We saw Hollywood Brown with 99. They don't have a receiver over 100 yards a game. They're doing it by committee with this running game, but the bottom line, at the end of the day, you're looking at it and say, well, this team's 9th in the NFL in running. So they're finding a way to manufacture those yards on the ground.
If Buffalo was able to add one player to their team that wasn't Patrick Mahomes, who do you think they would take?
Trey Hendrickson.
I mean, from the Chiefs.
Oh, from the Chiefs.
From the Chiefs, yeah.
Oh, they'd take Tyquan or Hollywood, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think they go wide receiver, too. I think they take Rashee Rice. Like, I think if you tell Buffalo, you can take...
thinking of anybody they want, yeah, Rice. But they're not going to do that, so...
If it was the other way around, it's like right now, if the Chiefs got to take one player off the Bills roster, who do you think they would take?
Cook.
You didn't even hesitate.
No.
I might be willing to see
it's
if
the
Ed
NFL's
Oliver,
leading rusher. Why wouldn't you take him?
I might be willing to see if Ed Oliver's healthy and see if you can get a pass rusher for the second half of the season.
Fine. So Ed's not fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's not fine now. He's coming back at some point, we believe, though.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, I definitely go with James Cook's second in the NFL. Second in the NFL in yards, only behind Jonathan Taylor. So I'd take Cook.
It's a very weird thing because, you know, you do interviews for this, I do interviews for this, and then people ask you about the Chiefs' run defense and are you worried about James Cook? It is crazy to be in a position where they're going up against, right now, who is playing like one of the 5 best running backs in the NFL, and you just don't really feel very nervous about it. I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to hold James Cook to 31 yards rushing, but there's also not really a reason to think that he's going to run for 130 yards against Kansas City either. I'm guessing this is going to be like a normal Kansas City Chiefs run game where he has 15 carries for 61 yards. Maybe he has one decent run, but he doesn't really have one long back-breaking run that really flips the game. Like the fact that the Chiefs defense has been able for basically the last 3 seasons to make teams get away from running the football and at times make them one-dimensional is a major reason why they might have one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, just like when Cody Tapp tweeted out the other day, they are facing 1, 2, 3, and 4 running backs the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So the top 4 running backs in the league they're facing. Because James Cook's number 2. They face him this week. Then it's J.K. Dobbins after the bye with Denver. Then it's Jonathan Taylor, the number 1 running back in the NFL. Then on Thanksgiving, the next game, Javonte Williams of Dallas. I don't think you have to worry about Javonte as much, but Taylor, Cook, and Dobbins provide, decent running games.
In hindsight, I wish they would have gotten Javonte Williams. Like the 2 running backs now, I mean.
Well, J.K. could have been easily. They brought him in for like a visit.
Agreed. I was going to say, I mean, there were 3 veteran running backs
ago.
that all got paid around the same. Like,
they had 2 chances.
What Javonte Williams got is what the Chiefs are paying Elijah Mitchell. What J.K. Dobbins got is what the Chiefs are paying Elijah Mitchell. Like, all 3 of those running backs signed for very similar and kind of around the same part of the season. And 2 teams they've gotten exponentially more from those guys than what the Chiefs have
gotten. Because J.K. could have been had the last 2 years when he went with the Chargers, then when he went to the Broncos. So he would have kept them away from them.
And with J.K., if it was an injury concern, it makes sense. Well, then you don't sign Elijah Mitchell, who had the same injury concern coming into Kansas City.
Yeah, and J.K.'s proven to be the guy. But he might be expendable at Denver with Harvey and the way he's running the football. So we'll see what happens, what Denver does with the running game. Certainly not trading anybody to the Chiefs.
You think Josh Allen ever gets a Super Bowl?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, eventually all quarterbacks end up getting it, like the Staffords and guys like that. It might take a while. It might take 5 or 6 years.
He's at 8 right now.
I think they're going to have to rebuild that team again because it's going to go down, but he's still there, so we know how good teams go with their quarterback, and they're certainly – Buffalo is proven like Kansas City. They're just consistently good, and we see these Johnny-come-latelys like the Colts this year with Daniel Jones. Listen, he's often having a great year. I get that. But do you look at the team and say, this is the quarterback of the future? This guy is going to have the same numbers in 2 and 3 years. Has he got to that point? I don't know yet. Everybody's believing in C.J. Stroud after his rookie year. Second year, third year, it starts coming down a bit. But we see all these Johnny-come-latelys, like the Jags. And we've seen this with the Broncos lately. We see what they do. And we've seen it with the Colts. So we see it with these teams where all of a sudden they rise up and they want to be a contender. They want to face the big dogs. And they don't. And at the end of the day, it's Buffalo and Kansas City again.
Yeah, we're getting really close to the Peyton Manning time frame when we're talking about Josh Allen.
He's, 29?
Yeah, usually quarterbacks at this stage in their career, if they've been as good as Josh Allen have, they normally have one ring. Like, in the last 25 years, there's two examples. It's Matthew Stafford, who changed teams and got it in his 12th season, and it's Peyton Manning, who got his first ring in his 9th season. Everybody else that you can point to, when they get their first ring, it usually either happens on that rookie contract or really early in that second contract. Guys usually aren't waiting 8 to 10 years to get that first chip.
Do you realize Mahomes has only played 2 more games than Josh Allen? Because Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith that first year. Then Allen was the next year, was he drafted in 18. 2 games separate them. And you know what those 2 games are? That one game in Denver, Mahomes' rookie year, that final game of the year where he started, and then Mahomes had or Allen had the bye week. So it'll catch up to just one behind him here in a couple, where next week when the Chiefs have the bye week. So it's very similar. You can make that comparison with stats, and all the passing stats, of course, are Patrick, and the rushing ones have gone to Josh. But you can make that comparison because they've essentially played the same amount of games in the NFL.